Hello everyone, so today in this video I will be reviewing the Yamaha R3, and the main thing I want to see is it worth the extra money, because it costs nearly 1 lakh rupees more than the KTM RC 390. So let's start. So let's start the ride. No. Okay, right away I can tell you guys, the power delivery on this thing is really smooth. Like, it is not like KTM, like that comes in and very hard manner. No, it is very smooth and very linear, so you can control it very easily. The handlebar is really narrow. Like, I ride a Duke and its handlebar is really wide, so here it is really narrow, so you can when you are doing high speed runs you can easily get down, and it is a lot easier here to get streamlined. On these bad roads it feels 100 times better than the KTM suspension. It is really softer than the KTM suspension, and it feels a lot more comfortable. This thing has a lot of power. This thing has, like, if I compare it to other bikes, this thing has 90% less vibrations. If I compare it to the RC 390, 90% less vibrations. This thing goes till 11,500 RPM. I think it goes, no, 12,000, even more than that. And even at 11,000, 12,000 RPM, this thing does not give any vibrations. Like, the vibrations that are at idle, the same vibrations are at 11,000 RPM also. And that thing makes this bike like really easy to ride. If you ask me the best part about this bike, I will say is this rev meter right here. I really love the rev meter that are analog. I don't like the digital one, because when you downshift you can see the meter climbing, and when you rev you can see the meter, so it feels really good. The speedometer is digital, I like that, but I love the analog rev meter because that thing feels really good. An exhaust change on this thing will do wonders. because the stock silencer is not doing justice, because I can tell that the sound that the exhaust silencer makes, it will be improved 1,000 times with the aftermarket like Acropovic and SC Project. That will be really good. So the seating position is a little bit forward biased, but it is really comfortable. Like this much is the normal seating position and this is straight. So very less lean on this bike, not that forward biased, and it is really comfortable. The seat is really comfortable. Like it is made of soft material and it is really good. Riding this bike on rough roads like these is a joy, because riding a KTM on these roads is a pain, like really. Okay, so as many reviewers said that Yamaha R3 is more of a sports tourer bike than a track bike like the RC 390 is. So we are on a highway right now and we are seeing that is it really a sports tourer bike or not. So this is a highway and we will be seeing every aspect that does it make this bike a really good tourer. So the very first thing I can tell right now is that this bike has 6 gears, so it is good for touring, because on 6th gear you see I am sitting at 6000 RPM, where like means the vibrations are not at all present here. Wind protection is not that great. If I tuck in like this, it is really good, but otherwise it is not that great. So cruising at 100, not a problem. And talking about the suspension, because everyone knows this thing is not as hardcore as the RC390 and the suspensions are on the softer side. So will it make this bike a bad handler? So as I'm riding it at 100, so I can tell that this thing is very stable. And you see how stable this thing is. This bike is really stable at high speeds and sticks to the ground, and it gives you the confidence to carry even higher speed. And the best part about this bike is the engine. Like it makes riding so effortless, because there are not any vibrations present, and vibrations on a long distance bike makes it really tough for the rider, because you have to fight the heat, the wind and the sweat, everything, and on top of that vibration, so it becomes a really difficult task. The seating position, if I talk about this bike, the foot pegs are a little back and the position is a little forward biased, but it is not at all uncomfortable for me. Like I am very comfortable and I can easily do 200 kilometers in one go on this bike without any problem. Talking about my Duke, I won't be able to do it on my Duke. That was the high speed of my Duke, highest speed of my Duke, and this thing goes there like without any problem. Now the biggest question that comes to my mind is that why this thing costs 1 lakh more than the RC390. So at the end of this video, should you buy a Yamaha R3 over the KTM RC390, the Duke 390? Because those two bikes offer a lot more value for money than the Yamaha R3. So let me tell you one thing. The problem I have with KTM is that I cannot ride it slow. I literally cannot, because the problem I have is whenever I want to ride it in traffic like slow, I will put it in first or second gear because I need pickup. Not second, first gear. So I need pickup. And as soon as I go there, I start riding in traffic conditions. The throttle is so sensitive that, like, even in slight input, the bike goes like really hard. And the second thing I have problem with KTM is the engine braking. Because of single cylinder and short stroke, the engine braking is a lot on that bike, and controlling the engine braking is like not a normal task to do, because if I leave it in first or second gear in the traffic condition, and as soon as I leave the throttle, the bike starts stopping like I have applied the brakes. So that is the problem I have with KTM. And the third problem I have with KTM is, even on Duke 200, the suspension setup and the comfort on that bike is like zero. And on Indian road conditions, we need comfort, because we all know how our roads are. Though they have changed a bit, but they are not perfect now. And every now and then you get a pothole. So this is where the Yamaha R3 makes the most sense. Like, if I want a bike which is sporty, which is easy to ride, which is comfortable, and I can do daily commuting with it, and it does not hurt my back. So Yamaha R3 is that bike which I would go for if I had these requirements. Like, if I talk about any KTM, it is not at all comfortable. And the thing that surprised me the most about the Yamaha R3 is how easy it is to ride, how comfortable it is, because we all know how our Indian roads are. They are like, every now and then you will find a pothole. And if I go through a pothole on a KTM bike, like, it is a punishment for me. But as I was riding the Yamaha, even on the bad sections of the road, I was able to carry more speed than the KTM, because the suspension was so good. It was soaking up all the bumps. And that motor on that thing, the twin cylinder motor, it is so smooth without any vibrations. Even at the topmost RPM, it has very less vibrations. The vibrations are like constant. The vibrations that are at idle are at 11,000, 12,000 RPM. They are same, they don't increase on that bike, and that surprised me the most. And how easy it is, like, engine braking on that thing is very less. So if you leave at a lower gear and you accelerate and then leave the throttle, it does not go like this. So you have a lot of control on that bike, and it is really comfortable to ride. So that is my view on that bike. If you want a bike that is comfortable, that is sporty, and we all know one thing, that we all don't have access to tracks. Like, if I want to do track riding, I cannot do it, because I don't think in the whole MP region there is a track. So if I go for the RC, I don't have a track. So where I will ride it? I will go to places where there is open road, good road, but still the road condition is not that good. And if I take the KTM, like, it bounces a lot because the road conditions are not that good. But at the same place, the Yamaha R3, like, it soaks up the bumps and handles so well. And this is the thing that I will pay for if I had to buy that bike. The motor and the comfort that bike has. These two things I will be buying it for. And one thing I want to know from you guys is that, does it justify its value, like for 3,70,000, would you buy it? I want to know it from you guys. Like, if you ask me, if I had these requirements, I would definitely go for that bike, and I would put a exhaust on it and a tail tidy, and that will be the best combination for that bike, and it would look sick. So this is my review about the Yamaha R3. So please like the video, please subscribe if you haven't till now, turn on the bell notification, because you will be notified about my every video if you do that. And comment down below what you think about this bike. Will you buy the KTM or the Yamaha? And go check out my Instagram and Facebook. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.
Hey, 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 hey.